Good morning.
Hello.
And so we have a new person with us this morning for Sunday Satsang.
Who
We
are you?
we have a Raj with us. Drum roll, drum roll, drum
Oh,
roll.
he's being official.
He's being official. They're going to give him
Hello.
full screen. Now he can really look impressive, huh?
Fun.
And here's a full screen Matri.
That's Leela.
And here's a full screen me. And now there's us. Anyway.
Good. And I need to keep an eye on my MBs.
I'm gonna also be on the cell phone on the side. Just to.
I'm just curious how it looks like with the three of us. Oh, that looks so nice.
Yeah, side by side.
In the middle. I'm in a gentleman's sandwich.
Pull your laptop lid a little bit forward towards you, Raj, so that you're slightly more there.
Is that good?
There, that's about perfect. Then,
Yeah.
then
Okay.
up
If
nice.
you bring it a little forward, then your head is as big as ours. Mine is really big. I need to go a little backwards.
So there's Ateria, aka Violet, and Guten Tag, Hashim.
Hi, Hashim.
Hello.
Malesh.
Wie geht's?
Yeah,
What
but
does
it's good.
triptych? What does triptych mean? Does that mean three?
Probably.
Triptych.
Probably.
Maybe.
I said Teria, and she said triptych. Oh well. Anyway. So I'm curious of something here. Let's see. If we go down to two people, what do you lose the audio? I'm going to step me out just for a moment so you guys can tell me if you can still hear me. We haven't done much of this like this, and I don't remember exactly. So I'm going to take me out of the picture, and then I'm going to keep talking to you.
Okay. He's gone from me out of sight, and I can't hear him.
Yeah,
You
me neither.
ready? I can't hear.
I can't hear him. Yeah.
No, and you don't even see him on the screen now.
All right. So
now I think he's coming back.
I'm back to.
We couldn't hear you. Could you hear us?
I could hear you, but you could not hear me.
No. So if you take me out, then Raj also can't hear me. But you can still see me then, and I can do like, I want to get in, please don't.
All right. I'll take you out. This is for practice. If somebody else comes in, I'm going to take you out for just a moment, Ma. Okay, I took you out, Ma.
Say something, Ma.
We cannot hear you, but you're flapping your fingers at us. And so now you put a thumb up. I guess that means you want back in. She's eating something. Can you see her, Raj?
No, I can't.
Okay, I can. So I can see everybody.
I guess only you can see everyone.
Yeah. And so there she is. She's back. Ma?
I see her name. She's slowly coming back.
Hello?
She's frozen. I guess that's her internet, Swamiji.
I don't know.
No, I should be back.
Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, I had to add GBs. So
You had to add gigabytes.
Well,
Well,
so I'm good for another gigabyte. So keep rolling.
more gigabytes.
And B is here, and Inika, and I didn't know who else.
Where is? I didn't see B.
Yeah, B says hello.
Oh,
Hi, B.
There's B. Hi, B. Hello. Hello, Inika. So anyway, the conversation popped up to talk about being a citizen of two worlds.
Yes.
And somebody had asking about talking about that a week or so ago, and now I don't recall who it was. So if whoever that was is with us or sees this later, you can know that, wow, here we are. But
Let us know if that is the case.
But anyway, so being a citizen of two worlds.
I really like this concept.
Okay,
So that's why I brought it up.
So take it away.
Take it away. Missing Leela a little bit. Maybe I'll stay up tonight till 11 and see her live. It's always a joy. But this concept of two citizens or two shores, and we have to go from one to the other. And so it kind of, as I, in the beginning of my practice, when I just met you, just wanted to be a citizen of only one world, namely the inside. I wanted to dump this the citizen of the external world, because that's not who I am. I wanted to be the ego, of course, wanted to be with the self. And so it was like, no, I want to get out of this world, get away from this world. And so I want to get to the other shore. I'm stuck on this shore, and how to get to the real self. And then gradually over time, fortunately, with a lot of loving guidance, that concept expanded. And the beauty of being two citizens a citizen of two worlds, that gives first of all the foundation of who you really are, but then also it says it's the bridge between the inner and the outer, the bridge between your true self and your false self, the bridge between who you really are and what you're really not. That's the beauty of being able to play in all the worlds. So that's why I really like this phrase that Swami Amma uses quite often.
Hello, Matesh.
And so that's why I like that, Swami Day.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me that one citizen can play in this world while awareness rests in the awareness who I really am, which is, so to speak, a true citizen.
Well, when I ponder this, me, I always like the simplicity part of these things, the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There's the bridge. And so when there's stillness, when sitting or lying down, or just doing that thing that we commonly call turning inward,
mm-hmm.
It's just, in some sense, this external world just easily just evaporates. And all there is the awareness in one way or another, one degree or another. All there is the awareness of the oneness of that field of reality that is infinitely one. And then literally there is the experience of getting up, moving, and coming back out into this playground.
Yes.
And so over years of doing this stuff, it is less and less a phenomenon of a bridge, though that metaphor still works. It's less and less a matter of it being a bridge between that which is in here and that which is out there, and that there is a uniformity. There is a difference between being inner and being so-called inner and so-called outer. But increasingly over years of time, it has become less and less a phenomenon of a bridge between two locations, because it is one location.
No location.
Yeah, it's no location. Joe snuck in, so it's sort of like no location, and yet, and I think in some sense that is the manifestation of being a citizen.
Yep.
Notice even in the phrase, being a citizen of two worlds. If you are a citizen of two worlds, both of them are home. And so all there is home. And there's no longer really a bridge between the two. I know, Matri, you spend time here in this ashram and you feel at home, and you spend time where you are right now in Netherlands and in the little ashram where you are right now, and it feels like home. Netherlands feels like home, and the little place feels like home, and being here feels like home.
And in the plane on one way from one to the other, I feel a home.
Yeah, and so the airplane,
Especially the Houston airport.
and so you are going to two geographical locations, but I think it's also tell me if this is true, but I think increasingly you are a citizen constantly.
Yes, because when you say like that, it what comes to mind is one of the pieces of the Tripura Rahasya that I love when the king is up in the on the ninth floor and in the temple in the island, we have a beautiful metaphor of Apsushumna, where then he is sitting in meditation with his eyes closed, and his wife, who's teaching him, stops by, and he opens his eyes for a little bit, and she grabs hold of him. And then he basically sort of brushes her off, says, "Oh no, I need to go back to my meditation." And then she challenges it on him and saying, like, what did you just lose when you opened your eyes? If it's all one, you basically can't lose anything either with your eyes open or your eyes closed. So eventually, indeed, the cities and the bridge kind of evaporate. But we, of course, as we are gradually learning that expansion of seeing unity in diversity, that I really love that story where he's pretending to be like, I'm really there now, leave me alone. And then she's,
Don't bother me.
Don't bother me. And she says, this is, not yet. And she busts him again. Of course, it's very lovingly done. But this is where it really is going. It really, it's amazing how theory really is shifting into awareness, where you see the one energy in everything that moves and even not moves, and it's out here and in here. But yet again, the concept, I think, is very practical. So the bridge is like having your green card.
The bridge is like having your green card. What do you think, Raj?
I don't know.
You have a green
card? Application
I don't.
for
I don't have a green card. Visa works for me.
It's okay for me too.
Yeah. What comes to my mind is pondering over this is that growing up.
Just for the fun of it here, I'm going to step out of this for a minute and listen, and I'll pop back in a minute. So you two chat a little bit.
Okay.
But not too long.
Okay. You can tell me to come back if you miss me.
Yeah.
Instantly, Swamiji. We're missing you.
Where are you?
Where are you? But what comes to mind? Continue.
Yeah, when I was pondering about this, growing up, where you go through many experiences in life, you have the desires, which is why we are here in the bodies, and now when I look back, all the things that I've done, especially during the time when I was not doing my practice.
He's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm here, Swamiji. Good, Swamiji.
Yeah. So
we're
when I
already
look back,
missing you.
We're already missing you, Swamiji.
Yeah, we're already missing you.
So when I look back of all the experiences, it somehow felt something missing, like something hollow in them. Or as I started practicing, and over a period of time when the practices evolved and I become more of an insider, it has allowed me to be more skillful in going back and forth during, going in, receding in for practice and then moving out to do whatever duties I've assumed. And I'm pretty sure it's I'm speaking for everyone. I think it's everyone can vouch for this. Is going back and forth between the inner and the outer, doing the duties that we have assumed, family and work and in relationships, and we can handle these things much more skillfully. And there is some sort of a harmony between the inner and the outer. So it's like the divide is as Swamiji put it, the divide is decreasing. You don't see the divide anymore. It seems to be seamless.
When you wake up as a citizen, we kind of forgot which we were all along anyways. Then even then the outer play also becomes more meaningful because it's
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, when we goof around with a group of people that are sadhakas, like on the mobile ashram, or I just immediately think of Leela when she, and it's just goofballing in the ashram and we're doing, I don't mind. But when it's with people who don't practice, then there feels a little bit, I have to be on like annoyance in a sense, like, oh, people, there's beauty in the world and you're missing out. And lately, actually, when I'm watching romantic comedies, which is new, Samaji, if he's still there, he might be laughing now. It's not giving me that fulfillment anymore because I'm like now more like search for the self. This love is not it. I'm starting to make the romantic comedy start to be singing like a little useless.
There he is commenting.
See, there he is. So it's so. But again, of course, the love is the one love that's playing in all forms. So it's very easy to love all, but it's not indeed as empty as the word I think you used in the beginning.
Yeah, it somehow felt hollow. And I guess this is yesterday we were going through the Swamiji was reading Who Am I, and it's I think from Sacred Journey, and until you start practicing and know where home is, you feel lost. It's like child that goes out into the street and forgets the home. It feels lost. But as long as the child knows where the home is, it can go out and play, but it knows where to come back to. So it sort of feels like that. You know where your home is, but you can yet go out and gradually, with practice, try to remain non-attached to the things of the world. Then you can play without misery or pain, but yet you know where your home is.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming back, fortunately.
He's back. And then we gradually, listening to what you just said, Raj, and then we gradually figure out that home is everywhere.
Right.
One of the fascinating things that triggered me to remember, one of the fascinating things that happened with me in the window of time of approximately 30 to 40 years ago. Boy, that's a long time ago.
You're getting old.
I'm getting old. Is that once I moved to India and was living in Rishikesh for those years, that became very, very much like home. I did not know if I would ever leave there. And then
leave the Himalayas? How could you leave the Himalayas?
Leave the Himalayas? I could relate to that. There was a part of me that just wanted to stay there forever. But then as I started being back here and being in other places visiting, this phenomenon happened to me. It wasn't planned, it wasn't thought out, but it was just an awareness that wherever I would go, it would take almost no time, a matter of at most 2 days. A place would feel like home, and I realized I could stay here forever and never leave. Yeah. It happened in South America. It happened in other places. It happened in Germany. It's happened in Netherlands.
Happened here, right, Jamity?
Huh?
In this place.
Every
You've
place.
Been here.
Every place. I'm just. That was. The memory of this happening was triggered by what Raj was just saying. Something in what Raj said caught my attention in that kind of way.
Which intriguingly is the the way sannyasis. It's not a rule, but just a few days and then you move on. Otherwise, you get attached. And
3 days. 3 days is the standard if you're living the wandering life. No more than 3 days in any location, and you just.
Yeah, otherwise, you could settle anywhere. It doesn't matter. This tree or that rock or that cave.
Couple of days, you feel like you want to stay there.
Yeah, you're just at home, and so then you become sort of at home everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is a part of what happened to me when that insight started coming to me. Wow, I could be in this place forever. This is a really neat place.
So true. I share that, Samaji, which is very nice because it's just very calmness. The calmness is traveling with you everywhere. I know a few people, and one started with it, and another one heard this. But one person that I know, he moved and changed countries and changed jobs and changed culture and changed everything. And he basically said out of himself, because his life is landed on practice, he says, you know, everything is different. Culture, job, where I wake up, where I go, but the meditation seat is the same. And someone else who's going through move said that too. So that is a nice kind of anchor that no matter also where you are, that stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps, you know, gradually make us more comfortable with all the fluctuations as we're gradually becoming more of an adept in moving around and living in the world, but not of it.
Yeah. Not to take people away from it, but yesterday I was invited to this 200 celebration of Baha'u'llah, the founder of Baha'i faith. So I have some friends here who are of that faith. And so there was a documentary that showed his life, where he was born and where he ended up. So
Who? Of Baha'u'llah?
Baha'u'llah, yeah.
Okay.
So he was continuously banished during the time. He was banished from Iran, so he went to Baghdad. He was banished from there. He went to Turkey. So wherever he went, he just made his home. And he just started teaching from there. So it didn't matter to him where he was, but he knew what his mission was, I suppose. It was a very inspiring story, though.
Yeah, sounds like it. One of the sentences I love that actually took a while to sink in that Swamiji used right from the beginning is that we make it up as we go along. And as we flow through the external world, so to speak, it just comes at you and we just take it as it comes. I always thought that everyone knew kind of what to do, as if there was a kind of unwritten, here I am back again with like a rule book or like a like a script that everyone was aware of, but I was the only one not, or something.
Yeah,
but then I figured that everyone is getting it up.
Where's the instruction manual? Where's
everyone seems to know about it, but
itinerary? The itinerary.
Yeah, but then I realized nobody has it. We just make it up. As we all make it up as we
create
go.
the appearance of an itinerary.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there really is not one.
No. Yeah.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. So, Rojo, Joe, any words of wisdom?
Anyone else? In the meantime,
being a citizen of two worlds.
I think it's a perspective is that what we think is external world, actually internal world.
What we think is the external world is really the internal world.
But it's all projection of the mind.
You can come sit here for a moment if you want to say hello. I will put Joe on here, and Joe will give us just tremendous words of wisdom. Oops.
Hi, Joe.
Bring it on, Joe. Bring it on.
Wisdom.
Now we see the face behind the comments.
You know, I think, first of all, I think what Swami Rama meant, you're the citizen of two worlds. I think what he was trying to say, we assume that we're citizens here and now, and he's saying, no, you have another place that you also belong to. That's what I think what he meant. You know, we're citizens of two worlds, not just, you know, wherever we think we actually are physically. And once, like you were saying, once you start traveling in that direction and making yourself comfortable with and feeling like you belong there, then you sort of say, oh, I'm here, and then I'm there, and I'm here, and I'm there. But what Swami Jay was saying is that there's no here and there's no there, because this is all space, time and space, which sort of an illusion of the mind. So when you start going beyond the mind, I think all of these distinctions of this world or that world begin to sort of disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even think about this world or citizen, or all of these are just labels, sort of lose their meaning.
Such as with every conversation that we're having.
But it seems to just sort of happen in some sense by doing sadhana. It seems to sort of naturally happen over time. I can remember when I first encountered this notion of citizen of two worlds, it did not really make sense to me. and yet it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew. And now one of the worlds seemed to be the city or the country where I am now. Then gradually we figure out, wait a minute, no, this world means it doesn't matter which country I'm in, which city, which house. This is all of these locations are part of one world out here. And the other world is the world in here. And then gradually it all seems to blend. And then with my eyes open or my eyes closed, whether I'm here or there or on an airplane or in a car or a train halfway between here and there in the external world, I'm always in the same location. Here, so to speak.
It's always here and it's always now.
It's always here and it's always now. There it is. There's
no path, but only a fool doesn't walk it.
There's the pinnacle of wisdom from Joe. It's all here and it's all now.
You summarized it completely.
Now there you go. Hi, Rosalind.
There's even a watch with a little second hand, and it basically says, now.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen that one. I've seen a watch with a face. The face of the watch says now.
Yeah, I saw Kamal Didi posting it recently on Facebook, like a GIF that constantly was moving like a clock, and the tick was going. Yeah.
Must be many versions of that over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now.
There's only one version that really counts.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Rojo. Are you coming over here?
Okay, Rojo, you say something smart.
Okay, come sit here and be smart.
Hello. So one thing that comes to mind with this topic for me is that having the citizenship of out here and in here, that the more I learn to skillfully go inside, the more and become undisturbed by the things that are found inside, the more I've found that I've been able to go through the external world and not be as disturbed by things that I find on the outside. Because, well, it seems to be part of how it all works. Can't say I'm perfect at everything, but, that's part of sadhana as you get there.
Get where?
To a state of being unaffected, undisturbed, not in pain, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
Too late.
All righty. I will take this off like here. Here.
Okay.
Let's wake up Ma. Ma's falling asleep.
Wake up.
But I'm only me now?
Yeah, well, now you're only you. I noticed you were kind of drooping.
No, I only see Swamiji in the room. Well, that's, I guess it is.
I didn't know it was only on you. I could have eaten another of my chocolate balls that are laying here.
Yeah, well, I had it
I have
only
to pay attention.
so that Joe and Rojo could sit
Yeah,
here.
no, that of course is very clever, but if
then-
I would have known, then I would have eaten. Look, I have 3 more. They're just laying here.
What is she?
Waiting. So, Ma, eat me. What?
What are you eating?
It's
Chocolate
dates
balls.
with cashews and coconut and cacao.
Uh-huh.
Blended. Grinded up and rolled into a little ball.
That's
Now,
your Sunday chocolate
Here's
fix.
another pet perspective to keep in mind for some of us. Listen to what Deepti has to say.
Yeah. Mama, Mama Dharma.
That's part of this world out here.
Yeah.
But then it's a great example, Deepti. It's a good example of trying to live this notion of being in 2 worlds.
Can you put all 3 of us back together?
Yeah, I just did. So when
I don't see that.
children are going mama, 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 the art of that then seems to be remembering the inner world at the very moment that here comes the mama, mama, mama. Probably not always easy to do, but at least we understand. It gives us another dimension on this being a citizen of two worlds, because it's so easy when something like that's happening, when we're being pulled out here, for all of us, whether it's children or chaos in the workplace, for example. You know, here you are and you're kind of blissed out in the citizen of two worlds, and all of a sudden somebody walks into your office or up to your chair, and here comes this blast of energy and words.
Trouble.
And what?
Here comes trouble.
And here comes trouble. And all of a sudden you're jerked out into this world. And you say, wow, a moment ago I was in the inner world, and all of a sudden I got ripped across the bridge, and here I am. And then feeling maybe a sense of irritation at this person or these people who dragged me back into this world out here, and I wanted to be in the inner world.
That's why the phenomenon of observe the transition is so beautiful.
Yeah. And so, and that it increases the understanding of the art of trying to remain a citizen of here at all times.
Yes.
So that when I'm aware of the citizen, being a citizen of the inner world, in some sense, I cannot be pulled exclusively out into this world. Whether it's what you call mama drama that Deepti was saying, or
Mama Dharma, but that's okay. I think Mama Dharma.
Mama Dharma,
Same thing.
or
Same thing.
or what was it Rojo said? You said,
Here comes trouble.
here comes trouble. Yeah. So here comes mama, or here comes trouble. And in both cases, it's the external world pulling on us. You know, remember the cartoon image that I've seen somewhere in the cartoons where a cane sort of thing, a big hook comes out, you know, and sort of pulls you, you know, like
When
this.
you're telling bad jokes or when you're not very good at the show.
It comes like this and says, "Grr," and pulls you out of the thing. And you say, no. I'm going to remain a citizen of two worlds.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remain in both worlds right now, and not get dragged exclusively out into that other world.
I think what happens to me when that happens, it's not because I was a citizen of the inner world, because I was not. If that happens,
You forgot to be a citizen of the inner world.
it's just an illusion thinking I'm a citizen. But when you're really there,
Uh-oh.
nothing can disturb
Here
you.
comes trouble. Rojo went out and is creating trouble. Watch out. Here it comes. You want the full screen?
That's a pretty big hook.
Be careful, Rojo, with his neck. We need him.
It's something you don't see every day.
But it used to be a
Candy cane.
it used to be a candy cane decoration for Christmas. It's been hanging outside in the garden area for
Long time.
years. It's been outside, outdoors, probably 10 years. I had it over at the townhouse, and it made it over here, and it's hanging outside there. And so the red candy cane sort of part of the thing faded away
Now it's just a
a long time ago. Now it's just a prop for
Looks
Rojo.
like a proctology tool.
It's a what?
Looks like a
A
proctology.
proctology.
Mir is in Rishikesh.
Yeah, he's in Salamandir.
That's a different mission.
Hi, Mir.
Yeah, enjoy.
Mir is in Rishikesh.
Yeah, in Salamandir, Swami Ashram, nicely on the Ganges.
Wow, that's cool.
I think for a whole week, even longer.
That's nice.
Yeah. He was asking what kind of practice to do. Well, here you go, Mir.
Here you go.
All of it.
Here you go. Yeah.
And there's a mirror with only a high. And there's
The beauty of these sentences, although we can immediately shred it to pieces, and there we are one, and there's no, and all that, and that's the the highest. Of course, when we're there, we don't need any satsang, and so but in the meantime, for those with a sincere desire and faith in the path. These sentences Swami Rama came up with, I think, are just, they're so simple, but yet they're just
And you
so
just,
juicy.
Ma, you just used the word satsang, and it reminded me to comment on another part of this. When we are out here as a citizen out here in this world, this is one of the reasons that it is so beneficial, if not essential, to have satsang.
Yes,
Because of the
constantly be
craziness
reminded.
of this world out here,
Yes.
and people and troublemakers on jobs, and kids going mama, mama, mama. And so isn't it nice to be able to spend a little time hanging out together, even if it's like this where we're sitting here using technology to do it. We get to spend some time together.
And the
Yeah.
floor clocks. Oh, the 4 o'clock has already been. It's late at night for me. I was thinking of the chai bell at 4. And then you forget everything. And Pavlov, you go.
Yes, there it is. So this is my virtual satsang.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Mir. This is
Yes,
what I was trying to say. And so I'm sitting here and I get the bonus. I get all of you, and I get a Raj and a Matri that I can look at there. And I get a Mir and a Rosalind and Miss so.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
so see what happened to the hook. Rosalind just got hooked and dragged out because the phone rang. Now, what happened to the Rojo hook? Rojo walked up to me with the hook and grabbed me by the neck. And it could be trouble, like Rojo was saying on the job, here comes trouble. Or it could be what Deepti said, and mama, mama, mama. Or it's actually the phone rings. The phone rings and you just get distracted from this conversation here. And we get pulled away from this sort of community of approximately like-minded people that are hanging out together having this conversation. Yeah. And this is what happens. So we get dragged off of where we are, and here comes trouble, and we get dragged out into some other aspect of this external world.
Oh, it's glittering and alluring and sucked into it again.
Or it's not glittering and alluring at all. It's just troublemaking.
I was thinking of the golden disc.
The golden disc of the Ishupanishad, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isha. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that image. The whole external world, the citizen of two worlds, the world out here is likened to a golden disc. And it just draws our attention to come to the golden disc that is complete with all of these things, the hooks and the troublemakers and the potholes, mamas and the ringing telephone, but it's all part of the golden disc.
Yeah.
You know, telephone, we might complain about our telephone ringing, you know, oh, this thing is irritating, but yet look, everybody's sitting around texting one another and doing apps and doing all this stuff that we do with phones.
Depends
and
on how you use it.
Mama drags you away, but you certainly would not want to have the not mama, mama, mama.
No.
Inika says, yes, same thing, Mir, virtual satsang. There's a connection that happens. And so all of this is a part of being out here in this world. And yet by doing this in this kind of way or any kind of way where we're doing satsang, it helps us while we're out here in this troublemaking world to maintain awareness of that inner world. Whereas sometimes if you're in the external world sense, isn't this true? I think it is. If you're all alone and you don't have satsang around you, you have no way of keeping in touch in this external kind of way, that it's easy to feel a sense of, I don't know what word to use, aloneness or something, or feeling a want to have some sort of presence out here in the external world. I'm sitting here, Joe's sitting now across the room from me, and Joe was not living here a few years ago. He had lived many years in Chicago and now lives 2 or 3 miles away. So we see him over here just about every day.
Oh no.
Is it satsang or is it trouble? He's back.
Mhm.
But we get to laugh with one another over things like that. And so all of that together is a part of how to be in this world. And when we do that well, and we're consistent with our meditation practices, then together they lead us, it seems to me, to being aware of how to be constantly here in the totality of this world that is the container of both of those, and is the container of Savannah, and the container of India, and the container of Netherlands, and the container of US, and the container of the whole of planet Earth, and our solar system, and our galaxy, and all of that other stuff. And subtle psychic astral planes should be there. Satsangs are my lifeline. I come here to get a breath of peace and calm. Listening to you all helps during my dives of life, or is that another word?
Diving into life, you take a plunge.
I see. Yeah, my dives. I'm diving out into life. Yeah, and isn't it true that when you have good companionship, good whatever this is, that it makes that diving into life a little bit easier?
Mm-hmm.
So just think, Rojo.
You get a scuba tank instead of just driving without it.
Go back to work.
Not really.
Is it a holiday?
It's because I'm going to.
Oh yeah, but it's still a work day. I was just saying, you get to hang out with us and lay back on the couch. She's now over there. See, she's now over on the couch doing texting or something. She's sitting there with her cell phone in hand, getting distracted into that. It does. There Inika says, I know that feeling alone, but the practice helps. And now I know the feeling of oneness, and it is growing and growing because of practice and satsang. Very nicely said, Inika. Yes.
Yes.
I like the way you just so nicely in one phrase put those two words together, practice and satsang. That's a beautiful way of saying it.
Nice.
They go together, and having them together, then I know the feeling of oneness, and it's growing and growing. Cool. Yes. Everyday group satsang through technology is really helpful. These that we do like this on Sunday, and thank you, Raj, for joining in with us here with Matri and I in the table. In this Be Live technology, we are in what's called the broadcast section, and the other is the lobby where other people can be waiting. So there we can have three of us on right now, which is what you're seeing, Raj and Matri and I. We can have three of us together like that, and then there's all of you doing the commenting. But so we do like that, and we can come together in that way. Well, the point I was going to try to say is when we do this like this, and I get to have a conversation, I'm looking at Matri, and I'm the one pushing the buttons here and deciding whether we're all going to look at Matri drinking her glass of water. There you go. Now she's finished with it. Have another sip of tea. Or we're sitting. So when we do,
so you are the button pusher, Swamiji.
I'm the button pusher, and so I'm responding here to
we have to stay undisturbed, unaffected, and uninvolved, right?
Yeah, I know.
The last said everyday group satsang through technology is really helpful. This is what I'm wanting to respond to say to you, that when I'm sitting here in the ashram completely, totally alone, and I do one of these things like we've been going through, we just finished the 14th chapter of Sacred Journey. And so, as you know, I'm often sitting here alone in the ashram and doing one of these things like that. But for me, increasingly, even though I'm physically sitting here alone on this couch doing something like that, even though I'm physically here alone like that, I'm still doing this with an awareness of all of you. And if there's somebody maybe live with me, or sometimes I do one of those and I'm completely alone. It's just a time that doesn't work with anybody's time schedule and time zones around the world. And I'm just sitting here alone doing that. And I'm just sharing with you that from my perspective of sitting here doing it, there's no Rojo in the room, there's no Raj in the room, there's no Matri on the screen with me, and there's nobody in the comments box. But still, my experience of doing that is that I'm still with all of you. And I'm saying that in response to Nilesh saying everything, group satsang. So I hope that sometimes when you turn on your computer and you catch, somebody's going to come along and look at the archive of the conversation we're having right now. Right now it's displaying that there are 14 people watching this right now. And probably by the end of the day or tomorrow, a couple days, it'll be 150, maybe 200 views will be on here. And so somebody else watching this later will feel a sense of satsang even though they were not live with us. There's this sense of other people that we are in alignment with. It doesn't mean we start a religious cult and we say we're right and everybody else is wrong and going to burn in hell or any silly stuff like that.
We'll have to start bowing to you. And
yes, there you go. Here, let me put Raj on there. You give a full.
Bow, Ma. Give a nice.
Oh, you're it. Go ahead.
Oh, there.
Oh,
Randi Swami.
Swami Dinesh Bharati Sri
2008. Time out. Enough. But anyway, the spirit of what Nilesh said there is, I'm just so tickled, borrowing a phrase from my old mother, tickled. It's just a little phrase, you know. It's touching that we can use technology in a positive way.
I like that word.
Look what Deepti says here.
Yeah. What does he say?
This is really bad humor. Good humor. It's disgusting, though. The 108 names of Swami Janeshwar. Oh, my. And there's another one. Boy, Deepti's on a roll today. Read that, Ma.
Swamiji pushes the buttons that are pleasant. Life is pushing buttons that are not as hilarious.
Yeah, there's something like that.
Yeah.
And here's Rosalind using expensive words just for you, Ma. Expensive words.
Strangely, there are few people to none with a verve to looking within as I do in my area. Then the courses came along and there was the refreshment of studies and practice. I had not expected satsang. I'm appreciative and grateful for the ability to be able to join in.
This is kind of nice, isn't it, Ross?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to use this in this kind of way.
Definitely.
And Raj has been very, very active in going through the Udemy courses.
Yeah, because I was just going to comment on that. Even there, when it's not always, I'm just behind the camera, literally behind it, and you are in front of it speaking, or the Dutch course that I did when I was all alone.
Joe is leaving. Joe is leaving the room.
You can speak freely now.
He's crossing the bridge to the other world.
He always
He
leaves.
Wisdom, and then he leaves.
He does.
Yeah, that's right. He always leaves at about this time here. Yeah. He wants to be in control and get out soon. Let's see if I can put this like this. There goes Joe.
Bye.
See you next week, Joe.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, Roger's coming here next week.
Oh, okay. Mangoes. Ah.
No.
Like the week after that.
What, Mom?
I thought he was going the first week of October.
No, next week.
Cool. Nice.
Week October.
But there may be doses.
Yeah, there definitely will be doses.
Wow, that's going to be cool. Bye, Joe.
Bye, guys.
Alrighty, so there, I'll turn that off. And there we go. Back. Did you notice that word verve, Ma?
Yeah.
That's an expensive word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah. Well, she has lots of expensive words like that. She's sort of an expensive lady.
I do like the word I'm tickled.
Anyway,
Yeah. It's different from being in a pickle.
being in a pickle. Yeah.
But yet, yeah, I was just saying that those online courses that we did, when we get comments about both the Dutch and the English one, that it is as if we're talking straight to the people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Now, notice this. Deepti says, my husband is in town and I sent him with my daughter for Vedantic studies. And I took this time to join Satsang. If I may push a little button here.
I was just waiting for it. You said
Vedanta
they're only pleasant. Go ahead.
is Vedanta. That's what the citizen of two worlds is about. It is the essence of Vedanta, or Jnana Yoga, or simply yoga. We split these things up and, we're going to go have Vedanta studies, which probably means there's a Pandit or a Swami sitting there looking very brilliant, explaining Sanskrit terminology. And we're just piggybacking on Swami Rama using a simple language that says, be a citizen of two worlds, which is the triggering phrase for this whole conversation. But this is Vedanta. This actually really, really is Vedanta.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about, how there's one reality, but there appears to be an inner world and there appears to be an outer world. So Matri tells us how much she likes that story of Hemaleka teaching her husband, the prince Hemachuda, in the Tripura Hasya. I think that was the two characters, and he says, no, don't bother me. I was in this other world. She said, well, if you can't do it in both places, you're not cool, you silly fool.
You're not there yet. Keep going.
And so it's all Vedanta.
Yeah.
And all of Vedanta is Tantra, and all of Tantra is Vedanta, and all of that kind of stuff. Chinmaya Vedantic Studies for Kids, K through 12. Chinmayananda was a very, very brilliant fellow. I had an experience, I mean this, I don't know if I should say this at all, but I had occasion to visit several times Swami Dayananda Ashram in Rishikesh, who was a student of Swami Chinmayananda, and very, very brilliant man. I've been with him a few times and quite enjoy him. But within their tradition and their ashram, I actually went and asked, one of their swamis is an American swami who teaches Sanskrit. I got to know her a little bit. And I said, I've heard this rumor. Would you explain it to me, please? I've heard the rumor that in your tradition you do not do meditation. And she explained back to me that no, they don't. And she said, but in our ashram in Swami Dayananda, if somebody wants to sit and do meditation, there will be no objection. Nobody will tell them not to do that. But there is a tradition who thinks that Vedanta is about sitting in front of the person, only doing the literal sitting to the man in the front of the room giving a lecture on Sanskrit philosophy and all of that kind of stuff. And so one worldview says that jhana or knowledge comes by listening and doing like that. And another worldview, which is this tradition, says, yes, you need to do that. But what you need to do with it then is go inside, and you need to do the internal. That's the citizen of two worlds. I need to visit that other world internally and set aside this external world so that gradually we can blend them and then realize, wait a minute, it's all one world or something like that. I'm not complaining. I have great respect for Swami Chinmayananda and what he has done.
A really nice course on that.
A course on what?
Blending Yoga, Vedanta, and Tantra too.
Yeah, there is a course. I've heard there is a Udemy course on blending
Swamiji. It's very good.
Tantra.
You were there when it was recorded.
That's true.
I was there.
As well.
Huh?
And
My parents were there.
very
Yeah, your parents were
superb,
there.
very superb technical editing skills.
Yeah.
And very good animations and like that.
And very good audience. Thank you.
That's
And very good audience. Yes, thank you.
audience does have an effect on the flow of things.
And so it's nice.
Yeah.
Gotta run the experiments. Yes, gotta run the experiments. Thank you. That's a nice way of saying it. Running the experiments.
Over and over and over and over again.
Over and
Until
over
it
and
becomes
over
constant. Yeah.
and over again. So
that was a nice, playful, for me, late afternoon. Let's see,
Yeah, it's 6
almost meditation time.
practice time here as well.
is it almost time? Well, then here, take this.
What? Om Tat Sat.
Oh, that's
Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Maybe that should be the closing remarks, huh? Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. And I guess we'll be together with Preacher Leela doing the next step of the, wow, look at that. Hold on here a minute. There you go.
What?
big question mark.
A
Big
full
question.
screen, big question mark with a few samskars hanging off the edge there.
Yeah, I do have. I would wrong sentence. There's still a nice covering, but this is who we really are. But this all is not bad. It's playtime. It's toys. It's instruments.
Gurvinder is here.
Oh, cool.
Sat Sri Akal, Gurvinder.
Sat Sri Akal. Sat Sri Akal. Yeah, boy, forgot that. Yeah, Sat Sri Akal.
What is that? I don't know that.
That's the greeting.
Seat greeting. It means, wow, hey, cool dude. That's approximately, Ma. That's just,
I understand.
you know.
He just shorts his.
SSA.
I was hoping you would at least spell it out so I could see how you write it, sort of.
SSA.
That's funny. It's not wasting time.
That's pretty cool.
OTS.
Playtime. Yeah, playtime is good. So that's a good place to end on, is playtime. How's that?
Woohoo.
So thank you all for playing. Raj,
Okie
thank you
dokie.
for joining in
Thanks, Swamiji.
and pulling up one of the chairs at the table like this.
It was fun.
Yeah. And so for those who are in the table talk group, if you're in the table talk group, we're wanting to have more conversations like this in the table talk, where people can take turns stepping up and sitting in one of the three chairs at the table and conversing in this kind of way.
Yeah, I saw that one. Thanks for the sandbox. Yoo-hoo, I made some pies. You want a little sand pie? And then we can eat and play and make a castle. And then it
Yeah.
goes away, we build another one, and it's all okay.
All righty. Thanks for visiting, Roz. And namaste. So, okay, bye-bye all, huh?
Oh, I thought Raj was going to do proper, so I'm going to do proper as well.
Roger's going to do what?
Proper.
Look
Like
at that. Holy cow, look at that. You know, there's Ma. Hold that pose there. There's Raj. Oh, you see here, I can do this. I can step out and let the two of them do it.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I see the divine in you and everyone else. We're all waves of bliss and beauty. Let's bubble and sparkle and tickle away.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle,
Fairy
sparkle.
dust, fairy dust.
Fairy dust, fairy dust, fairy dust.
Magical, isn't it?
Magical fairy dust flittering everywhere. Enough of this silliness.
Push it, Swamiji. Push it.
All right, I'm going to push the button. Where? Where's Roseanne today? Oh, she's been having some Wi-Fi trouble, I know. So anyway. Thank you for playing, Inika. Little Hearts from Inika. Okay, bye all. I'm going to push the button, Ma.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dewey.